Dear students, in yesterday class we have seen the general characteristics of bryophytes. Okay, today we shall see the economic importance of bryophytes. Coming to the economic importance, bryophytes got little economic importance. The following are some of the economic importances of bryophytes. Number one, mosses are used as food by certain birds and mammals. Mosses are used as food, especially mammal like reindeer. Reindeer is there at Himalayan region. The reindeer use or consume the moss plant as food. So this is one of the importance. Second, there is one plant by name sphagnum. The sphagnum is commonly known as peat moss. This moss is used as fuel. It also got another economic importance, that is, this plant can hold the moisture or water. While transporting the plants from one region to another region, this plant is also used because it retains the water. That is another economic importance. Then, bryophytes are the pioneer plants on bare rocks or the lands. So they play a very important role in plant succession. You will come to know what is plant succession in your second PUC. So this comes under ecology, plant succession. ಅಂದರೆ ಖಾಲಿ ಬಂಡೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಅಥವಾ ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಭೂಮಿ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಬೆಳೆಯುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಟ್ ಸಕ್ಸೆಷನ್. ಈ ಖಾಲಿ ಭೂಮಿ ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವು ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ bryophytes. That is why the bryophytes are ecologically important. They are the pioneers, means first plants on bare lands. Okay, this is the third importance. And the fourth one, they prevent soil erosion. How they prevent soil erosion? Soil erosion means a removal of topsoil. How they prevent soil erosion? The mosses especially forms a green mat-like structure on the soil. This mat holds the soil. Thus, the bryophytes prevent soil erosion. Okay. So these are some of the points regarding economic importance. One is food, another is fuel, another is a pioneer plant, and last point is prevent soil erosion. Okay, that's all economic importance. Now we shall see brief classification. The bryophytes are divided into two types, sometimes with three types we call. Here we are mentioning two types. Liverworts and mosses. Liverworts, example Rixia, Mercantia. Why we call them liverworts means the plant body is thalloid. Thallus means there is no differentiation of root, stem and leaves. Such a structure is called thallus. The plant body of Rixia and Mercantia is thalloid or thallus-like and assume the liver shape, hence called the liverworts. The liverworts are commonly found growing on moist soil at shady places, at hill stations, say for example Ooty, Kodaikanal, Himalayan region, where the atmosphere is cool, moist and shady. At these places, these plants are commonly found growing. Sometimes they are also found growing on tree trunks. ಮರದ ಕೊಂಬೆಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಬೆಳೆದಿರುತ್ತೆ, tree trunks. The plant body, as I told you, is a thallus. Looks like liver, hence commonly known as liverworts. Okay. Some have leaf-like structures. Leaf-like structures, especially the mosses are the leaf-like structures. Vegetative reproduction takes place by fragmentation or by gemme. Vegetative reproduction takes place by fragmentation. How fragmentation takes place? By the death and decay of older part of the plant body, the branches separate. Each branch leads an independent life. That is vegetative reproduction. The vegetative reproduction also takes place by the formation of what are known as gemmae. There is a question. What are gemmae? Gemmae are multicellular, vegetative, reproductive structures or asexual reproductive structures of bryophytes. If we examine the diagram of Mercantia, see the diagram of Mercantia. On the Mercantia plant body, we come across gemmae cups. Gemmae cups are borne on the thallus. Inside the gemmae cups, gemmaes are born. Okay. So, vegetative reproduction takes place by fragmentation or by gemmae. Gemmaes are formed in gemmae cups. Okay. That all takes place during favorable conditions. Next, the plant body is gametophyte. Gametophyte always reproduce sexually. As the name indicates, gametophyte means gamete. Gametes producing. Phyte means phyton, plant body. Gametes producing plant body. So it, when reaches maturity, produce male sex organs. The male sex organ called antheridium. The antheridium, when reach maturity, it produces the sperms. The sperms are biciliate. Cilia helps in the movement of sperms during fertilization. The female reproductive structure called or female sex organ called archegonia. Singular, archegonium. Archegonium is having the basal part called the venter. Inside the venter, the female gamete, the egg is present. Okay. The archegonium actually is a flask-shaped structure having upper lid and middle narrow tubular portion called neck and basal swollen part, that is venter. So the male sex organ is antheridium and the female sex organ is archegonium. When antheridium reach maturity, it releases the sperms. The sperm moves through the water or water medium, reach the archegonium, then enter into archegonium. Fertilization takes place. That is, union of male and female gamete takes place. Zygote is formed. The zygote is a diploid structure. Gametophyte is haploid. The zygote later on develops into another body called sporophyte. Okay, now the sporophyte, when it reaches maturity, it is differentiated into foot, seta, and capsule. In primitive forms, such differentiation is not found. The sporophyte having basal part called foot. It absorbs the water and mineral salts, even food, from the gametophyte. The seta part, middle part, it conducts water and minerals. And the upper part is called capsule. The capsule produces haploid spores at the time of reproduction. Now, the sporophyte, when reach maturity, produce haploid spores. How the haploid spores are formed? When the sporophyte is young, the capsule contains spore mother cells, which are diploid, undergoes meiosis and produce haploid spores. So meiosis takes place at the time of spore formation. We call sporic meiosis. Okay. Next, the last character. The sporophyte, when produce haploid spores, the spores germinate and develops into what is known as gametophyte. The sporophyte gives rise to gametophyte. There is alternation of generation in bryophytes. That is, the gametophyte produce sporophyte and sporophyte produce gametophyte alternatively. Okay, that's all about liverworts. Next, we shall see another group of plants, mosses. Mosses. Example for mosses, Funaria, Polytrichum. Polytrichum is commonly called pigeon moss. Funaria is commonly simply called moss. Sphagnum is commonly called peat moss. Okay. Now we shall discuss about the mosses. In case of mosses, the dominant body is gametophyte. This gametophyte is leafy. It is having stem-like structure, but not the stem-like structure. It is having leaf-like structure, not the true leaves. Root-like structures, rhizoids, not real roots. The gametophyte is leafy in mosses, having root-like structures, rhizoids, stem-like structure, and leaf-like structure. The leaves are arranged spirally. Okay. The gametophyte is fixed to the soil with the help of multicellular rhizoids. In case of liverworts, the rhizoids are unicellular, but in mosses, the rhizoids are multicellular with oblique septa. So rhizoid's function helps in fixation of the plant body to the soil and also absorb water and mineral salts from the soil. Next point. The gametophyte, when reach or attain maturity, reproduce sexually. The male sex organ and the female sex organs are produced. The male sex organ called antheridia and the female sex organ called archegonia. Actually, flower-like structures are produced in mosses. Okay, but not the flower. Flower-like structures. Mass male flower, mass female flower, like that. The sperms are released from the antheridium. The archegonium contains the female gamete, the egg. When the antheridium mature, the sperms released swim in water or moisture. When reach the archegonium, fertilization takes place and forms zygote. The zygote is diploid structure which develops into sporophyte, the diploid plant body. Sporophyte always diploid and it always reproduce asexually. Sporophyte, as the name indicates, spores producing plant body. The sporophyte in mosses is highly elaborated and is differentiated into foot, seta, and capsule. Okay, capsule is very important because within the capsule, the haploid spores are formed after undergoing meiosis in spore mother cells. That is, capsule contains spore mother cell which divide meiotically and produce haploid spores. The capsule produce haploid spores. The spores germinate and gives rise to what is known as primary protonema. Protonema is filamentous, green, alga-like structure. From this protonema, the gametophytes are formed or differentiated. In the life cycle of mosses also exhibit or found alternation of generations. Okay, that's all about mosses. Okay, right. Thank you.